Hi, I'm Sir JC and welcome to Power Math. Power! Power! So in this video, you will learn how to solve quadratic equation using quadratic formula. And this is for grade 9 students. But before that, so let us have a preliminary activity. So kung kayo ay lagi nanonood ng aking video, so meron tayong activity pagkatapos ng ating lesson. Okay now? So, subukan natin sagutan to kung naintindihan natin yung ating previous lesson. Pero kung di mo pa napapanood yung ating video regarding the completing the square, mas maganda panoorin mo muna siya. Okay? So, the activity is you need to solve the following quadratic equation by completing the square. Okay? So, hindi na natin siya isosolve. We just need to find the roots or the solution of the given quadratic equation. Okay, so let us find the answer. Okay, number 1, x squared minus 2x is equals to 24. So, dapat alam na natin yung steps. Okay. So, kung sagot mo ay x is equals to 6 and x is equals to negative 4, may tama ka. Okay, number 2, x squared minus 7x minus 8 equals to 0. Kung sagot mo naman ay x is equals to 8 and x is equals to negative 1, tama ka din dyan. And number 3, 2x squared minus 5x plus 1 is equal to 0. Kung ito ang sagot mo, x is equals to 5 plus square root of 17 all over 4, or x is equals to 5 minus square root of 17 all over 4, tama ka din. So, ibig sabihin, naintindihan mo na yung ating lesson. Okay? Now, so let us have some review or recall. So, on how to solve quadratic equation by completing the square. So here are the steps. So first thing you should do is you need to transpose C on the right side of the equation, or you need to find the additive inverse of positive C. So the additive inverse is negative C. So you can add both sides by negative C. Okay, so mas madali yung transpose na lang kasi ayun naman yung karaniwang ginagawa. Okay, so ax squared plus bx is equals to negative C. Then the next step is divide both sides of the equation by a. Okay, so let's say in this example, a is not equal to 1. Okay, so mas maganda ma-divide natin siya. Okay, then the answer is x squared plus bx over a. So pwede nating i-lowest term if b is divisible by a, and c, negative c all over a. So, ganoon din. Pwede din natin i-lowest term. What will be the next step? So, you need to complete the square. So, by adding the square of b over 2a. So, in both sides of the equation. So, it will become x squared plus bx over a plus the square root of b over 2a is equals to negative c over a plus the square of b over 2a. And what will be the next step? Factor the left side. So, nag-complete na tayo ng square. So, ibig sabihin yung ating left side is a perfect square trinomial. So, how are we going to factor a perfect square trinomial? So, hanapin natin ang square root ng first term and the last term. Then, copy the sign of the middle term. So, it will become the quantity of x plus b over 2a quantity raised to the power of 2. Then, pwede natin i-simplify yung right side equation natin. So, negative c over a, it will become b squared all over 4a squared. Then, what will be the next step? Combine the rational expression on the right side. Okay? So, in this example, rational expression siya. So, we need to find the LCD. Okay, so dapat familiar na kayo kung paano hanapin ang LCD natin. Okay, find the LCD. Then, divide the LCD to the previous denominator. Then, multiply it to the numerator. Okay, so it will become the quantity of x plus b over 2a. Quantity raised to the power of 2 is equals to negative 4ac plus b squared all over 4a squared. Then, extract the square root. So, remember, we have a method on solving quadratic equation by extracting the square root. So, it means that extracting the square root is a portion of the completing the square. Okay. Okay, so the answer is x plus b over 2a equals, so since hindi naman perfect square yung AC, then meron tayong symbol, it is a binomial. So, may iwan lang siya sa radical symbol. So, plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, nire-arrange lang natin. Then, perfect square naman yung ating denominator, which is 4a squared. So, magiging 2a. Okay, then what's next? Transpose b over 2a on the right side of the equation, or it is the constant value. So, it will become x is equals to negative b over 2a plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So, as you can see, they are similar fraction. So, pwede natin i-combine na lang siya. Okay, so for x, so combine lang natin yung ating fraction. So, negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so that's the step. Okay. But, hindi ba kayo nagtataka na anong meron dito sa x is equals to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so kung titignan natin kasi napaka-komplikado ng completing the square. Okay, so let us use this x is equals to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So gamitin natin siya in solving quadratic equation. And this formula is what you call the quadratic formula. And this is the lesson for today. Solving quadratic equation using quadratic formula. Okay, so let's solve the quadratic equation using quadratic formula. So kung familiar kayo sa ating mga lesson, so mapapansin nyo na nagamit na natin itong equation na x squared minus 10x plus 19 equal to 0. Okay, so let us identify the steps. So the first step is rewrite in the form of ax squared plus bx plus equal to 0. So, standard form. Since nasa standard form na siya, skip na natin. So, proceed tayo sa next step. Identify the value of a, b, and c. Okay, so na-discuss na naman natin kung paano hinahanap yung ating a, b, and c on our first lesson, which is the introduction to quadratic equation. Okay, the value of a is 1. The value of b is negative 10. Then, the value of c is 19. Okay, then what will be the next step? Okay, proceed na tayo sa substitution, or we need to use the quadratic formula. Then substitute the value of a, b, and c. Okay, so let us substitute. So negative b. So ano ba yung value ng ating b? Negative 10. So negative times the quantity of negative 10. So huwag kakalimutan, mas maganda naka-parenthesis para hindi tayo malito. Okay, plus minus square root of the value of b again is the square root of negative 10 squared minus 4 times the value of a, which is 1, times the value of c, which is 19, all over 2 times the value of a, which is 1. Okay, so simplify lang natin yung equation. So x is equals to negative times negative positive 10 plus minus negative 10 squared is 100. The negative 4 times 19 is negative 76. All over 2 times 1 is 2. Then, perform natin yung operation sa ating nasa loob ng square root. Okay, so x is equals to 10 plus minus square root of 24 all over 2. Okay, so matatandaan natin, 24 is not a perfect square. So, we need to find a factor wherein one of its factor is a perfect square. So, it is 4 times 6. 4 is a perfect square and 6 is not. All over 2. Then, square root na natin yung 4. Square root ng 4 is 2, diba? So, 10 plus minus 2 square root of 6, kasi hindi naman siya perfect square, all over 2. Okay, so, in this case, pwede nyo na siyang paghiwalayin. So, pwede yung gawin nyo is 10 plus 2 square root of 6 all over 2. Then, the other one is 10 minus 2 square root of 6 all over 2. Pero, ang gagawin ko dito is, i-factor out ko yung 2. Since we have common factor of 2. Factor out natin. So, 2. Then, matitira sa 10 is 5. Then, matitira sa 2 square root of 6 ay square root of 6 na lang. Kasi pinactor out natin 2. All over 2. Then, pwede na tayo dito mag-cancel. Okay? Then, pwede dito natin paghiwalayin. So, x is equals to 5 plus minus square root of 6. Paghiwalay lang natin. X is equals to 5 plus square root of 6. Then the other one is x is equals to 5 minus square root of 6. So, ganun. Ganun ang pag-solve using the quadratic formula. Okay, so quadratic formula, again, is applicable in all types of quadratic equation. Okay, so kaparehas siya ng, kung mapansin natin ay, kaparehas siya ng completing the square. Okay, so ito yung comparison ng steps ng completing the square. Okay, so pwede siya kahit ang given ay can be solved by extracting the square root or factoring. Okay. Next. Okay, so in this example, it is factorable. Pero ang gagawin natin is quadratic formula. Kunyari ay hindi kayo familiar sa factoring. Okay naman ay hindi kayo ganun kabilis mag-factor. Okay, so let us use quadratic formula. Kasi ang kinaganda lang niya is you need to find the value of A, B, and C. And substitute to the formula. You're just going to memorize the formula. Okay? So first step ulit natin is standard form. So, nasa standard form na siya. Skip na natin. Next step is find the value of A, B, and C. So, A is 1. B is negative 12. C is 27. Okay, then, substitute natin sa formula. So, X is equals to negative times the value of B is negative 12 plus minus square root of the value of B again is negative 12 quantity squared minus 4 times the value of A is 1 times the value of C which is 27 all over 2 times the value of A which is 1. Okay, next simplify naman tayo. So, ganun lang. Okay, so X is equals to, simplify natin, negative times negative, positive. So, it will become positive 12 plus minus, ano yung square root ng negative 12? 144. Then, negative 4 times 27 is 108. All over 2 times 1 is 2. So, dapat yung basic operation, familiar kayo dito. Okay, multiplication, subtraction, addition, and division. So, ayun lang kailangan natin tandaan sa quadratic formula. And of course, the square root. Okay? Huwag natin kakalimutan yung square root. Next. Okay, so 12 plus, so simplify natin yung nasa loob ng square root. 144 minus 108 is 36 all over 2. And 36 is the perfect square. So, x equals to 12 plus minus, ano ba yung square root ng 36? So, it is 6 all over 2. Okay, so dito, ganun ulit. Pwede nyong paghiwalay na kagad. 12 plus 6 all over 2. Then, 12 minus 6 all over 2. Okay, so, ako, ang gagawin ko ulit ay factoring. Okay, so, factor out yung 2. Then, the remaining value is 6 plus square root, 6 plus minus 3 all over 2. So, cancel ulit tayo. Then, pwede nyo nang paghiwalayin. 6 plus 3. Then, the other one is 6 minus 3. So, x is 9. Then, the other one is, x is positive 3. Okay? So, ito yung comparison niya sa completing the square. Okay, yan. So, hindi naman siya nagkakalayo kasi kung matatandaan natin, yung quadratic formula ay kinuha lang naman natin sa completing the square. Okay? Then, pwede din siya i-check. So, kung matatandaan natin, tinuro ko yung checking sa lesson number 2 which is the extracting the square root. Okay, kaya medyo mahaba yung video natin doon kasi doon tayo nag-checking ng lahat ng possible values ng ating root or ng ating x. Okay, even if the roots are not real, the roots are rational or irrational. So, nandun lahat. Okay, so mas maganda panoorin nyo din siya. Next. Okay, so ito natin last example natin. So, 4x squared plus 2x is equal to negative 1. So, hindi pa siya nasa standard form. So, kaya gagawin natin yung first step. Okay? So, hanapin natin additive inverse ng negative 1. So, positive 1. So, add both sides by positive 1. Or, transpose na lang natin. So, it will become 4x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals to 0. Then, identify the value of a, b, and c. So, a is 4. B is 2. Then, C is 1. Okay, so sa completing the square, medyo komplikado itong gantong given kasi meron tayong value ng A. or ang value ng a natin ay greater than 1. So, mas mahirap siya. Okay? Pero sa quadratic formula, so ganoon lang din. Basta alam niyo yung operation, fundamental operations. Okay, the next, substitution tayo. So, x is equals to the value of b is positive 2. So, negative times the quantity of 2 plus minus the value of b again is 2 squared minus 4 times the value of a is 4 and the value of c is 1 all over 2 times the value of a is 4. So, ganun lang. Okay, so kahit ano pang given natin dyan, kahit malaki pa, kahit may value ng a tayo, so simple lang din ang pag-solve using the quadratic formula. Okay, now simplify. So, x is equals to negative times positive 2. So, negative 2 plus minus the square of 2 is 4. Negative 4 times 4 is 16. All over 2 times 4 is 8. Then x is equals to negative 2 plus minus. So 4 minus 16 is negative 12 all over 8. So dito pwedeng tumigil na tayo sa ating mga steps kasi alam naman na natin na kapag ang nasa loob ng square root is negative, so, ang final answer natin dyan is not real. Okay? So, sana naintindihan natin ating lesson. So, pero bago matapos yan, so pwede nyo sagutan muna to para matesting natin kung naintindihan nyo ba yung ating lesson. Okay? So, dito na nagtatapos yung ating lesson. Sana marami tayong naintindihan. And huwag kakalimutan na syempre, mag-subscribe kayo sa aking channel kung marami kayo natutunan. At syempre, paki-like and share na din. Okay, so that's all for today. So, goodbye. Power, power!